Hello everyone and welcome to a new lesson with Miss Rafa. Today we're going to complete with Unit 4, Drama. So open your activity book and let's get started with the reading skill. Reading. Let's see the first question. Before you read the text, match the words to their meanings. Fairy, hinge, misery, dynasty, mishaps, justification, disillusionment, witty. A small being, human in form, playful and having magical power. Fairy. To depend on something completely. Hinge. A feeling of intense unhappiness. Misery. A sequence of powerful leaders in the same family. Dynasty. Unpredictable outcomes that are unfortunate. Mishaps. The act of defending by giving excuses. Justification. Freeing from false belief. Disillusionment. Using words in a clever and amusing way. Witty. Now let's move on to the text. You're going to read an article about William Shakespeare. Work in groups and identify the main idea of each paragraph. William Shakespeare, 1564 to 1616. William Shakespeare is an English poet and playwright, widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English literature and the world's best dramatist. Shakespeare was born and brought up in Stratford-upon-Avon. Between 1585 and 1592, he began a successful career in London as an actor, writer, and part owner of a playing company called the Lord Chamberlain's Men, later known as the King's Men. He appears to have retired around 1613 at the age of 49. Where he died 3 years later. So paragraph 1 is about Shakespeare's personal life. Paragraph 2. Shakespeare wrote a total of 38 plays, 154 sonnets, 2 long narrative poems, and a few other verses. His plays have been translated into all languages and performed more than those of any other playwrights. He was good at turning older plays, Greek and Roman legends, into new plays. His audience expected a play to be one of 3 types: a history play, which dramatizes stories from the past; a comedy, which usually has a happy ending; a tragedy, which is characterized by death and disaster. This paragraph is about Shakespeare's works. Shakespeare's history plays are about people or events in England's history. Shakespeare's first history plays, such as King John, Richard II, and Henry IV, which were influenced by Elizabethan dramatists, especially Thomas Kidd and Christopher Marlowe, dramatize the destructive results of weak or corrupt rule, and have been interpreted as a justification of the Tudor dynasty. Later history plays, like Richard III and Henry III, show how proud the country was of the Queen's successes, particularly the defeat of the old enemy, Spain, and of England's rise to a great world power. This paragraph is about Shakespeare's history plays. Shakespeare's comedies are full of fun and based on misunderstanding and mishaps. The characters are lively and the dialogues are witty. Shakespeare's early classical comedies, containing tight double plots and precise comic sequences, gave way to the romantic atmosphere of his greatest comedies. A Midsummer Night's Dream is a witty mixture of romance, fairy magic, and comic low-life scenes. The wit and word-play of Much Ado About Nothing, and the charming rural setting of As You Like It, complete Shakespeare's sequence of great comedies. This paragraph is about Shakespeare's comedies. Unlike his comedies, Shakespeare's tragedies always have sad endings which can make people cry. The tragedies are based around misery, loss, and disillusionment. Most Shakespeare's tragedies involve characters of very high status in society. Julius Caesar is the most important man in Rome. Hamlet is a prince, and King Lear is a ruler of Britain. Many critics believe that Shakespeare's greatest tragedies represent the peak of his art. The plots of Romeo and Juliet, Julius Caesar, Hamlet, Othello often hinge on fatal flaws which overturn order and destroy the hero and those we love. While watching a Shakespearean tragedy, the audience is moved and shaken. After the show, the audience are calm and washed clean of pity and terror. This paragraph is about Shakespeare's tragedies. The last paragraph. The secret behind Shakespeare's continued reputation is that his writings are admired everywhere for their intelligence, wit, beauty, and humanity. His plays are filled with action, his characters are believable, and his language is exciting to be read. Underlying this is Shakespeare's humanity, which is shown through his great sympathy and love of all people. This paragraph is about the characteristics of Shakespeare's plays. Adapted from English literature. Now let's move on to question C. Choose the correct answer, A, B, or C, to complete the following sentences. Shakespeare's early history plays give excuses to the Tudor rule. Shakespeare's great history plays were written during the Elizabethan period. Classical comedies of Shakespeare are based on two plots. Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream combines both A and B, romance and magic, and comic scenes. In Shakespeare's tragedies, the tragic hero is destroyed because of his weaknesses. Now let's move on to D. In pairs, complete the following sentences with information from the text. Shakespeare depended on older plays, Greek and Roman legends, to write his history, comedy, and the tragedy plays. Elizabethan dramatists influenced Shakespeare's first history plays to a large extent. The early comedies of Shakespeare were characterized by tight double plots and precise comic sequences. After attending Shakespeare's plays, the audience feel calm and washed clean of pity and terror. That's everything for today. Thank you very much. See you next lesson.